If you're like most people, you clean your car in the spring, but not everybody protects their car. So I'm going to show you how to protect your vehicle to keep it looking new all year long. Hopefully your car is clean, or you've probably already went ahead and cleaned it. Hopefully it looks better than what we're working with today, but I'm going to show you what pieces of PPF to install that has the most wear and tear. Now, if you haven't cleaned your car yet, we do have a deep interior detailing video that goes over how to clean all the areas of your car in a very detailed way. So you should check that out. Make sure that you use non-toxic cleaner so that you and your passengers aren't breathing in heavy chemicals. So if you have your Tesla for a while, you might still have like some scratches or marks. The PPF won't obviously make those go away, but they do cover them or cover most of them, so they're not seen, and it protects it for the future use. So let's get into it. First, we're gonna get into our door kickers. So they are exactly what they sound like. They're the bottom part of your doors that you kick open. Maybe subconsciously you don't know you do it, but most of us do. We drag in a lot of stuff like mud, salt, snow, and you might not even notice it, but open up your door, it's probably there. So we're gonna install PPF to show you how to protect it all year long. So this roll comes with all 4 doors, but we are just going to be installing the driver front door to show you guys how it works. So first I'm gonna spray down the actual door kicker. I try to avoid this area right here for obvious reasons. Doesn't need to be like super drenched, but just enough. And then I'm gonna spray down the actual door kicker itself on the top. This is a matte film. It matches pretty perfectly with the material on the door kicker, so it's almost invisible. Unless you know it's there, of course. And I'm just gonna peel and spray the back every so often. Peel all of it. I'm gonna be careful, try not to touch it to any other surfaces. I'm just gonna stick it on. Yeah, that's for that one. Ideally, you'd wanna be inside, but we have some stuff going on in our garage, so we got put out here, but no worries. The wind isn't too bad today, so we shouldn't have any contaminants fly under. Also, the weather that we typically recommend installing it is like 65 to 75% degree Fahrenheit. Just make sure that the PPF isn't too cold where it can't stretch, and it's not too hot where it stretches too much. It's kind of like the perfect temp. Okay, and then I'm just kind of aligning to this side on this end, and then I'm just going to kind of bring it, and you'll be able to see kind of like the natural lines that you'll be following. And I'm just going to take my squeegee and start on this side since I know I like this alignment. And I'm going to get it down. I'm not going to spray tack yet. I'm just kind of getting it in a good position on this side. And then if I like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tack, which is just water. Sometimes you can like mix in just like a little bit of like 70% isopropyl alcohol. It helps with the adhesion, but I'm going to spray it on the edges, and I'm just going to go back through. Just get all those edges again. So I like that. So I'm just going to kind of make my way. And then I say that about the wind, and now it's blowing. That's on me. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this. I like this middle section, so I'm going to get all that down. I'm going to get my tack and just spray kind of at the edges over here. A pro tip is if you have anything valuable in here, take it out before. I'm not sure what all this is, but my bad if it's important. See, and I like that. That looked good. So I'm just going to spray the tack one more time in those areas. And perfect. That all looks good to me. You'll kind of see, I don't know if we can see it on camera, but there's like a little like, almost looks like a tree little thing. That is just, it takes like a 24 hours to dry up, and then it won't be visible. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down, get it all settled. And then typically recommend waiting 24 to 48 hours before like touching it or messing with it. Just gives it enough time to adhere properly. If you start seeing like edges coming up over that course of time, you can just like get a microfiber and lay it back down. Once it's fully dried, you can just lay it back down and it'll be totally fine. All right, so we're gonna go at the door sill next. There's like micro scratches if you've had your Tesla for a while. You might not notice them just from standing up here, but once you get down close and personal, you'll definitely be able to see them. I see multiple right now on ours. Luckily, we have the PPF installed around the door sill, which is really nice. So today we're just going to install the one that goes over the actual sill. Same thing with the door kicker. I'm just gonna spray it down with some slip, and then I'm going to grab the door sill. This one is going to be gloss PPF. I believe that we have an option to choose gloss or matte online. Just depends on what you're going for. The gloss still shows the Model 3 or whatever model that you have, but the matte kind of hides it a little bit. So just a heads up on that one when you are trying to decide. Yeah, and everything that I'm using today, except for the microfibers, comes with the kit. Sorry, I just saw a hair there. So you're buying the pre-cut PPF, but you're also buying like the tools to install it. Plus, this isn't necessarily an instructional. We have way better instructionals that don't include me, but it goes way more into detail about how to get it installed properly. So I have it laid down. I'm just kind of like watching to make sure that it follows the outline, and that looks pretty perfect to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack one area of it. So I'm going to tack this area just because it's closest to me. Spray some tack underneath, and then I'm get all that laid down. It does go like up, so you want to make sure that you're paying attention to that. Sweet. And then I'm just going to kind of go up and down, split it in half. In this film, what we just use for the matte, and then what we're using here, it's Avery Dennison Supreme Defense high quality PPF. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of seeing bubbles and I'm just pushing them out, but I'm making sure to overlap my squeegees to make sure that no bubbles that I'm not seeing aren't going to remain. And then I'm going to get that edge on this side. I'm just going to make sure that the bottom is good. And then I'm just going to take my microfiber. And still be careful with the edges. They're obviously not adhered, so you don't want to I don't want to go this way and bring up the edges. So you kind of want to move towards them. And that's the door sill PPF. The next one that we're going to talk about is the glove box PPF. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the driver, but if you have a lot of passengers who want to get comfortable, maybe long road trips, feet definitely end up touching the glove box, whether you like it or not, and whether you're trying to be careful or not. So I do highly recommend glove box PPF. The glove box was one of our OG interior PPF protection kits, just because it was a very high need for the community from when we talk to people, and for us personally as Tesla owners. So again, highly recommend glove box PPF if you have a lot of passengers and or take a lot of road trips. And finally, we have the most important part, I think, of protecting your Tesla, at least the interior, is going to be the command center screen. This one is already installed. It is the matte screen protector. We also have HD clear. I highly recommend this just because there's a lot going on in your front seats, especially when you have passengers. You never know what's going to happen. You might hit the screen, crack it a little bit on the bottom edge and the top edge. So I highly recommend the screen protector. When it comes to choosing finishes, if you have I don't know, eye issues, wear glasses, kind of like me, I definitely would recommend the matte. It minimizes the glare that could possibly happen with the HD clear. But if you don't have a preference, either one I think is a great option as long as you have a screen protector on. And one thing that we don't necessarily have for this model, but we do have it for the Model 3 and Y Legacy, is backseat protection. So basically the PPF kind of follows what you would see here on the normal Legacies. It's perfect if you have kids or passengers in the back, kind of like the glove box in a sense, same protection, same wear and tear on the back seats. But like I said, we don't have it for the Highland, but if you do want it for the Highland and the Juniper, please let us know. We love making products based off of y'all's suggestions. So that's something that we would love to do if it is something that is a need. So spring is a perfect time to clean, but it's also the time to prevent more damages. And I know that PPF stands for paint protection film, but it's just not just an exterior protection. PPF adheres to interior panels and plastics. So it's perfect for trying to protect the inside of your Tesla, which is where you spend most of your time. I hope this helped with your spring reset and gave you some ideas about what projects you can be working on over the next few months. Let us know if you have any questions, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.